when you say evolve our third-party partnerships, I think that goes back to something like how Phil was starting to get Square Enix back to the table. It should not be lost on anybody that the reason that Xbox has a lot of third-party partnerships it has, especially in Japan right now, is because of Sarah. Sarah really had ownership of that and brought a lot of them back to the table, specifically in Japan. Like Atlus games being on Xbox, we don't have any proof of it, but I'm going to say probably because of Sarah. Look at how close Microsoft and Sega have gotten over the last several years. Atlus reveals their games at Xbox shows now. That is something that if you had told me that 5 years ago, I would have laughed you out of the room.
Yeah.
I would have been like, maybe they're going to reveal stuff at Nintendo because they showed Shin Megami Tensei 5 at the original Switch Direct. But I never would have dreamed that we're getting Metaphor announced there, that we're getting Persona remakes and spin-offs and stuff announced there. Like, announcing all Persona 3, 4, and 5 all coming straight into Game Pass is still one of the all-time, what the fuck is happening moments for me.
Yeah.
Just this week, we had pictures. Kojima was at the offices in Redmond meeting with Asha and Matt, and he was holding a box that said X for Kojima. It was this big, looked like a box you carry a camera in if you're trying to ship it. I kind of wondered aloud, is this the first dev kit for Helix? And I was like, yeah, it's probably too small. I wonder if it's the first handheld dev kit.
Could be. I mean, but the Universal Windows platform, like the dev kits, though, the dev kit works for multiple machines, I believe, right? The current one, at least?
I do not know.
Because I think from what I've heard is that it you toggle essentially at least for PC and Xbox, you this, we're developing this for we need to optimize this for the Xbox version. So they for lack of better terms, flip a switch and start working on the Xbox version through the dev kit, or now we need to optimize for the Series S version, and it emulates the specs for the Series S version essentially to try to optimize it. But maybe I'm wrong with that. I don't know. I'm not a developer, but that's just what I've kind of seen through the grapevine. Yeah. Save as Series S, right? That's it.
Yeah, I don't know, but Kojima holding that box and zooming in and seeing that was interesting to me.
Yeah,
I think that's just fascinating because I don't know if we ever knew that Kojima. I believe that the other visits with Kojima was Phil and Sarah going to Japan to meet with him, not him coming to the States. That's kind of fascinating to me, is that would have had to have been one of the first calls that Asha and Matt would have made after she took control, as hey, let's get Kojima back on the phone. Let's get him in here. She also, honestly, as the incoming CEO, probably needed to be shown just what the fuck is going on with this game. What is going on with OD?
Yeah.
It also makes me wonder if we're going to get an extended look of it at the summer showcase, which is just a little over a month away. It's about 5 weeks away, 5-6 weeks away. It makes me wonder if we're going to see real gameplay for it finally.
I would assume gameplay is ready, right? I mean, Death Stranding's done. Fizzant, they said, is at least 3 years away.
Is casting. That is years away.
Yeah. 2030 at the earliest, I feel like Fizzant is. So, I feel like we're here, we're ready for this, right?
Yeah, I think this kind of has to be Kojima's next game, barring a magical return to Metal Gear. I imagine this would have to be the next game, so I'm ready to see it. I really hope that they had been planning to show gameplay for this as part of the festivities for Xbox 25. Because we're almost a third of the way through the year and we have nothing to show for it so far. Sorry, but launching Towerborn and out of early access and launching Kiln are not exactly my ideas of celebrating the 25th anniversary of Xbox. So also getting a new CEO. So I'm interested to see where they go, but that's kind of the end of the letter here.